are grossing $4 million annually, but don't have any money. Where do we look to stop the bleeding? Yeah, I feel you on this one. And I want to start out by saying you're not alone. There are more organizations than you think. And by the way, if your organization, let's say, is under 1 million US dollars and you're thinking, how could you run a $4 million company and not have money? Listen up, because you want to avoid the pitfalls that I'm about to share with you. Yes, it could happen to you. So here are some thoughts, some quick places to look out for, maybe 5-6 thoughts. One, are people being paid? Are people being overpaid accidentally? It happens. My gosh, I just read about a situation in which someone was being paid double for a year, but never noticed because there were deductions. There were lots of federal and state withholdings. There were deductions because of retirement contributions, and also the employee just didn't notice. You and I might be thinking right now, how could you not notice? Well, guess what? It happened. The employer didn't notice, the employee didn't notice, and now there's a whole kerfuffle. Check to see if people are being overpaid accidentally. It could be in the authorization function. It could be in the information passing function. It could be in the custody function of actually executing the payments. Check that out. Compare what people are being paid against what their employment agreements are saying, against the timesheets, if that applies to your organization. Just check that out. Figure out if fraud is being committed. Now, that in itself, we could all talk about for hours and hours over a campfire with marshmallows and lots more worry lines than actual laughter, unless it happens to somebody who wasn't us. So we're not going to go into all the ways to look for fraud being committed, but don't overlook the possibility that you're running a $4 million company and you don't have any money because someone's stealing it. Someone from inside the company or someone from outside the company. These things happen. Do we have any certified fraud examiners on the call right now? Do you know what I'm talking about? Has anybody on the call heard stories? Yes, sometimes people inside or outside the company steal money. Another one that are customers taking too long to pay? That's something to consider. Maybe you have a really profitable business model, but cash isn't coming in the door because customers, instead of paying up front or in 15 days or 30 days, what if they're taking 60 days, 90 days, 150 days? What if they're not ever paying because nobody's ever asking? What if they're not ever paying because whatever? Because there isn't technology set up or aren't processes set up or nobody's calling and saying, hey, how was the service this month? We didn't receive your money. Was everything okay with the service? Is it a check in the mail, etc.? So customers taking too long to pay, that's a real thing. And it could be a reason why a $4 million company doesn't have any money in the bank. Also consider that if your company's finances are going up and down, and if you're in a downswing right now, you may want to consider the owner's salary. You may want to skip some pays or temporarily reduce your pay in order to help to manage finances. Now, if you're bringing in, let's say, 200, 300K as a CEO, sure, that might be fair given market rates and some other variables. But if your company is insolvent, you might want to temporarily reduce your salary. It's one of several techniques to consider. Also consider if the owner is running personal expenses through the business. Now, that's completely illegal if it's accounted for properly. It's not necessarily advised, but if it's accounted for properly, it's legal. But if your company is in a difficult cash position right now, it may be time to start paying for the owner to start paying your personal expenses out of your personal account and have the business only handle the business income and expenses. And the only other thing that's on my mind is, as they say, low-hanging fruit. Make sure that employees with authorized credit cards or authorized debit cards are using them appropriately. This doesn't have to necessarily be an indicator of fraud, but maybe there's a misunderstanding or information didn't pass. Someone, let's say, is authorized to spend $1,000 a month. On the debit or credit card, you can technically spend more. Maybe someone forgot or didn't realize that they were at the limit or was just burying head in sand. Look, I just need to spend more, and then all of a sudden $1,000 a month became $1,500 a month, and that became $5,000 a month over time. Things happen. Just check compliance with established protocols. If it's time to change those protocols temporarily as the organization gets out of its cash downswing, it might be time to do that. So those are some quick thoughts. I hope that was helpful to you.